What's up, everyone? How y'all doing? My name is Arif, and this is your Daily Chat Season 5, Episode 31 for August the 5th, 2020. How's everybody doing today? What is going on? Not a lot of news that's been worth talking about the last month, but boy, did we pop off this week. And the biggest story that's worth talking about, and actually the most business-related story worth talking about, is the Blizzard worker salary spreadsheet that has been making its rounds, and just the disparity between people. It has been nothing short of crazy when we see what Blizzard workers have been making, and I'm so glad that people have been sharing their salaries in a Google spreadsheet, so that way they could, within the company, know how bad the disparity actually is. Mind you, Blizzard Activision has been under attack for probably the better part of 2 months now, after Bobby Kotick's salary came out with his $40 million, salary, and then he has a stock options, and it just keeps getting more and more from there. Like, he is the biggest and highest paid CEO in the industry by a bazillion miles. And we see here that employees at Blizzard division of Activision have started to begin circulating a spreadsheet Friday anonymously to share their salaries and recent pay increases. And from there, we saw that the raises were below 10% than what Blizzard employees were expecting during the study. Which, how would that make you feel to know that you thought you were getting the pay raise that was in line with where you thought it was supposed to be, only to find out within the company you are far, far below that? Mind you, Blizz Activision is it's a $150 billion industry, and Blizz Activision makes billions and billions of dollars a year through Call of Duty, through World of Warcraft, through microtransactions and Heroes of the Storm and Hearthstone. They make all the money. So for this to come out that they are not paying people really a living wage is, in one way, not surprising at all, but in another way, so disgusting as a business practice. There are reports in this article that people had to stop buying lunches, like they couldn't go for group lunches with their colleagues in the Blizzard cafeteria because they could not afford it. One couple had to stop even having the discussion about having kids because they knew they couldn't afford it. Now, mind you, some people at Blizzard are doing very well. Producers and engineers can make well over $100,000 a year. But at the same time, game testers and customer service reps, the people on the extreme front lines, the people who have to eat all of the excrement that comes out of the player base, they're getting paid at or just ever so slightly above minimum wage. Like, this is just not okay. And yesterday was actually the Blizzard second quarter earnings call. And during that call, to no shock at all, this was never brought up as a question by the shareholders, but Bobby Kotick very, very strongly at the very end of his introduction speech did say that we're very proud of our Blizzard employees and their families for all the contributions they made. Very quickly trying to, put a fast PR spin on this, but this is not going to go away. Blizzard Activision has really screwed up here in extreme manner. And with all of the executives taking home such huge bonuses, it's really just such a disgusting practice on both a business front and as just an employer front to do this. I know that tech companies have this whole structure of small static pay, big variable pay, as in like your Metacritic scores and all that kind of stuff. They have these kind of payout structures, but those are not and will never be okay. Even when I worked for a small software company back in 2018, I was paid only $15 an hour. Mind you, here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, $15 an hour is minimum wage. In California, it's probably like $7 an hour. So I was looked at to be being paid well, but I was in reality being paid minimum wage. It wasn't an incredible payout for the amount of stress that put on me, for the amount of time it took. It was awful. And I feel so bad for these customer service reps. These customer service reps absolutely at these type of companies should be getting paid $60,000, $70,000 a year to be a customer service rep. When you're dealing with a player base who totals in the tens of millions, and you are having to deal with them on a non-stop basis. No, it's really not okay to just be paying them minimum wage and tell them that they should be grateful to get it. Now, one thing, I'm glad I held off talking about this article because yesterday, when other people were discussing this article, other people who are more, industry insiders than myself were talking to people at Blizzard. They were told about these things called honor points. It's like an in-company point system. Now, a lot of companies have these, but Blizzard Activision has decided to take this honor point system and wrap it into your salary considerations. So they view this as a value add to your salaries in the same way that they give you what is basically free WoW tokens so you can play WoW forever. They give you these kind of things and they look at those as a value add. And because of this now, they don't feel the need to pay more money. And one woman on Twitter even said that her and another woman were in the meeting with HR saying that, hey, they would like to discuss a pay raise and all that. And they were very quickly told how quickly they can be replaced as GMs for World of Warcraft. Like, that is not a proper business perspective. That is not the way you should be looking at this kind of thing as an owner, as an executive. I know it's a more liberal version of perspective, and considering how much I am on the conservative side of things when it comes to a business, I'm not a monster. I'm heartless, that's fine. But I'm never a monster in the way that I feel that people should have to go hungry in the name of building a higher profit margin for the quarter. My perspective of this will and always has been, as long as you're turning a profit, whether it's a record or not, that shouldn't be the reason why you hurt other people's lives for the sake of people who really don't need the money and just want to see numbers on a page. Now, it's a very, very weird perspective when I say that out loud because we're number chasers, all of us, in games that Blizzard makes. Diablo 3, World of Warcraft, we're always chasing bigger and bigger numbers, and we get mad when we don't see it. And these shareholders are really just playing, number cookies or whatever it was called, where they just want to see bigger and bigger numbers every quarter for no other reason than to see them. Really, in the end, whether they see a bigger number or not, it doesn't really, in any significant way, financially impact them in a meaningful direction. Yes, it goes up, but was that 40 grand really going to mean anything when you made 2 million off that quarter? It really doesn't mean that much. So you sacrificed 800 jobs that one quarter, I think back in 2019. They sacrificed 800 jobs. They rehired those positions at a much lower salary. And then on top of that, they don't value any employees. And this is really just all around in a big global scope kind of way, showing that not every job is as rosy as it appears to be. And never do anything for the sake of passion. I made that mistake back in 2018 and 2019. I made that mistake. It was a huge mistake. I never should have done something for the sake of passion, and I never will again. I always chase the money now, but I'm not going to chase the money at the detriment of someone else if I'm already doing well enough on my own. That's just never going to be who I am, and it never should be anyone who anyone is. If you are that kind of person, I hope you get strung up, to be totally honest. But yes, that is the big news coming out of Blizz Activision over the last 2 days. I wanted to hold off just because I wanted a few more details to come out and just see how they handled the earnings quarter. So now that we have all that information, now you guys are all caught up. I know it's a little bit late, but hey, better late than never, with respect, of course. Now, in lighter news, Google has finally announced the Pixel 4a phone. $350, no definitive tech specs yet, but it is about a little under half the price than a regular Pixel. Regular Pixel runs for about $799, and this is about $350. Now, we can expect probably a lower quality camera, probably, middle to lower tier processor, but nothing too drastic. The A-level phones have always been the budget line for Google and even for Apple with the SE models, but they've always added value for their price point. They've always been decent phones. And even Apple in this article shows that the SE has contributed to the unexpected higher earnings quarter than normal, even in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, because of its cheaper price point. Now, the only bad thing about this is the fact that Google has really kind of missed the boat in the fact that they should have done this, months ago, around April or May at the latest. But the fact that they're releasing it in August is just, it's really hard because a lot of people probably already renewed by now. And a lot of people have already, if they made the switch, they already made the switch to the Galaxy series because Samsung released their budget models well in advance. Or they made the switch just straight to Apple. And yeah, they might move 10 million phones a year, but it remains to be seen if this is going to be as good for them as it has been in past years with the whole economic crisis, job shortages, on a high unemployment. These are all things that will play into whether this phone does super duper well or just well. Look, it's going to do well. We know that, but that level of well is very much a scale. And how far to the right it gets will be dependent on, well, how many people are left in the market to pick up the phone that haven't already switched over. Because if you're already on Android, like I said, you have OnePlus, you have Huawei for if they're still in America, you have Samsung, you have options in the Android space. Like with Apple, you're only stuck with Apple. And we'll see how the 4A does. I'm very curious to see how it does because, like I said, the 4As have always been great value for their cost. But is it enough to make people maybe have waited it out for this long when they should have done this in April? And in another story, we have Sony discussing about peripherals. And this really blew up on Monday. But Sony said that PS4 peripherals would only work with PS4 games on the PS5, but not with the PS5 games. And people were livid when this came out. Review Tech USA is calling this anti-consumer. People are saying that Microsoft has already, made everything backwards compatible, or I guess forwards compatible. And here's the thing. Sony has said that third-party licensed gear, such as racing wheels, arcade sticks, and fighting sticks, will work with both the PS5 and PS4. PS4 DualShock will only work with PS4 games on the PS5, but they will not work with the PS5. Other licensed things like the Gold wireless headset and third party that work connect via USB port and audio jack will work with the PS5, although headset companion apps will not be compatible with the PS5. This is one of these things that has torn the community apart from people who look at it from my perspective and people who look at it from the wrong perspective, that they should be making this forwards compatible. PS4 should work with the PS5, but we don't know what type of technology the PS5 is integrating into the controller. We don't know if it's just a redone PS4 with a modified chipset to make it PS5 compatible only, or if they've actually thrown in new tech. If they've thrown in new tech, it makes complete sense that, they wouldn't want you to have the PS4 features because, well, the PS4 features wouldn't work with the PS5. And it's one of these other issues that, yes, at least they're supporting, your third-party peripheral. So if it really bothers you that badly, go out on Black Friday and just buy some PS4 controllers through a third party, and they'll work just fine. Like, I don't know why people are up in arms. They've given you an actual option. This whole thing is just discussing official supported PlayStation controllers, but third parties will continue to work. So you have your option. In fact, I don't know many people who just use Sony branded controllers. I know most people who own consoles have third party controllers because they're just normally cheaper and easier to replace, and, well, they're just in some ways more reliable. Like, you're not paying that premium just to pay a premium. You're paying that premium so that way you get better quality. But yes, people were very, very mad about this. No, it's not anti-consumer. Yes, it's a business practice. It's a new generation. People just need to stop complaining about everything under the sun because they're not getting their way. It's not going to happen. Sony needs to make their money, of course, and they also have new stuff that they don't want people to miss out on. And I'm sorry, but your PS4 just won't have those same features that the PS5 might have. And in our final story, getting back to the topic of Blizzard, We haven't heard about this game since 2018. For those of you that don't remember, Blizzard showed off Diablo Immortal, which is the mobile version of the game. And they showed this off at China Joyce, which is China's biggest video game convention. And they've given away all the classes, so Barbarian, Crusader, Demon Hunter, Monk, Necromancer, and Wizard, which is, I believe, is a nice blow up of all of the classes in Diablo 3. And they've shown off some of the main villains from Diablo 2. But here's the thing. They show this at China because they know that it's just not got that appeal here in North America. This game was always made for the Chinese market. It was designed for the Chinese market. It was targeted towards the Chinese market. They unveiled it at BlizzCon because it's a Blizzard title. But this was never going to be a hit in North America. We are not mobile gamers. We are PC gamers, we are console gamers, but for a company to pitch to their clientele base, who are hardcore PC people, to play a game on their phone was never going to fly. It was never a good idea. And now that they finally admitted to themselves and to the world that this was a Chinese game, I think we're all ready to make our peace with it. Yeah, it plays like every other mobile action RPG. There's nothing special about it. So, just roll off that, take it for what it is, accept the fact that this is the direction Blizzard's going. Of course, they've always been appealing to the Chinese market. We have the Hearthstone Blitzchung, I'm sorry. We have the other, I'm sure there's been other instances that don't come to mind right now where we've had Blizzard just kowtowing to the Chinese government. It's just the way the world is now. But at least now we've seen the gameplay. I'm not going to show it here, obviously, because I don't want to get the video taken down. But you can see it online if you really want. But I can tell you right now, you're not missing anything if you decide to skip out of it. It plays exactly like a Diablo game on a phone, as you would expect. So guys, there you have it. That is today's daily chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please do like, comment, share, and especially hit that sub button for more daily chat, for more tutorials, for more reviews. And guys, thanks so much. I've been Arif, and I'll see all of you on the next video.